The demonization of a 9-to-5 and a job
I've never understood
is
that.
the worst thing that's happened to my generation ever.
Okay, so there's a whole bunch of course sellers out there that make you believe that once you get rid of the 9 to 5 and you make it in the online space, that you can never lose it. So one of the biggest issues in the agency space is that generally the conversations that the gurus have with you on YouTube are completely different conversations they have with you behind closed doors. And how do I know this? Well, I've been in a lot of these conversations and I've heard these gurus talk about their craft and what they do. So I want to give you a bit of an insight and look into what one of these high-level conversations looks like. This is actually a part 2 of a 3-part series where I talk to Lewis Castle, who has sold millions and millions of dollars in the agency space. And he's worked with some of the biggest brands in the agency space, including Charlie Morgan. And we're going to be having a pretty high level conversation, so you won't want to miss that. So for those who don't know who I am, my name is Jimmy. Everyone calls me Uncle Jimmy. And I run a marketing agency called Mind Line Guy that does about $120,000 a month. And I'm also a service delivery coach at EasyGrow, which is Charlie Morgan's program. And I've personally coached about 5,000 agency owners just like yourself. So make sure to strap in, guys. This is going to be a really valuable conversation and you won't want to miss it. These guys will get to 100K a month and then they're like, oh, I'll never lose the money. And it's like, dude, you know for a fact you can. You knew how hard it was to make and you could lose it tomorrow.
And even worse, because I won't name the names, but I know of many, many big info owners about 3 years ago, is you don't respect that you can lose it, and then you do, and you're too entitled to do the thing necessary. Don't get it twisted. If I have to go make coffees again, or fucking get a whatever job, I will. Like, I'm not like, I refuse to let myself become entitled to the point where if my business fails, that I would like start doing like basically like fall into the world of like bad info or like the stake stuff. I bet you the Rampage Jacksons of the world that pop up overnight, they got to a point in their financial life
where they had to do it.
Where they had to do it.
Yeah. The biggest thing I hate about the SMMA space or the agency space, especially in the info space, is that people think that you have to be an agency owner, you have to not do anything else.
Yes.
Right? And I tell guys all the time that are struggling, like financially, they're really struggling. They're like, oh, I might have to go and get a job. I was like, what's the shame? What's the harm in that, man? Go and work at night and do the agency during the day. Go and stock shelves at Bunnings or whatever and go and do that. What's the shame in that, man? All you're doing is gathering resources. I was like, dude, I would have been happy to do that. Like I don't,
So many guys ask me that, like, oh, should I get a job? Yes.
Yeah, dude, it's so much easier when you have resources.
No, like keep your job. Like it's fine. I worked for my first agency, which I never made it past 10K, but like I was making enough money to not have a job. I still worked at the cafe because I thought I had to be honest, but
it took the pressure off you, right?
It took all the pressure off.
Yeah, and some of these guys, they can afford the pressure because they're young and they can afford the stress.
Yeah.
But it's not healthy to have that level of stress on you. Yeah. And it doesn't make you, it makes you make really dumb decisions, right?
It's just marketing messages. It's just marketing. Like you're all like, people talk about like, oh, I think for myself, I'm an entrepreneur. No, you've been fooled by marketing.
Yeah.
It's just marketing campaigns.
100%.
I've seen it firsthand. I've been a part of the YouTube video creations. I've been in those meetings.
And in EasyGrow, you spoke to a lot of people about this, right?
All of the ideas that everyone has in the online space is just come from marketing campaigns.
Yeah. Every idea on the planet is example of that, right?
Exactly. It's propaganda. Said another way.
I'm looking at some of these boats here, and the only reason people have them is because they've been sold the idea of a boat.
Yeah.
It's not because that's the most practical boat in the world, is it?
No.
If anything, people would just have really practical boats if they wanted to go boating, but they buy a 40-foot Riviera because
they can barely drive.
Yeah, because they're marketed the idea of like that's what you need at that level of status. Same with the fucking cars, man. Like that is the other reason. It's like I don't buy into the hype of like, hey, to be considered successful, you need to buy a GT3 Porsche. I've never bought into that ever. And I think there's too many people that do buy into that, right? They don't have enough self-confidence in their ability. See, what it is, right, is there's a lot of people that have stumbled into this. They've gotten successful, they've stumbled into it, they suffer from imposter syndrome, and they feel like the only way people will respect them is by having that. And unfortunately, it's kind of true in a way. There's a lot of people in this space that will respect someone more that has that car that doesn't. Not understanding that behind the scenes it doesn't actually matter. It's like when I'm like that's why I like you. It's why I talk to you a lot. And it's why I talk to some others a lot,
Mm.
because I like talking to people that can provide value.
Yeah.
Right? I don't give a shit if you got a Porsche or you came here on the bus. It wouldn't
Yeah.
matter to me as long as you're providing value, man. Like, and you're adding to the
Yeah.
conversation. That's what I give a shit about. And anyone that's been on this planet for a long time will
Yeah.
appreciate that more than some dude rocking up in a Porsche and
Yeah.
going spending 20 minutes talking about their Porsche
Yeah,
because they
yeah,
want you to
yeah,
know
yeah,
about it.
yeah. A lot of the guys, Hormozi's I think a good example of this. They didn't get what they needed when they were younger, whether it be status or resources or respect, and they become a like almost an evil version, and they use the money and the economic sort of environment they have now online to get that back.
Yep.
And I can say this because I spoke to about 3,000 agency owners on sales calls, and you ask them why. Why do you want to do this? And all the time they're like, oh, I want to retire my parents. Or I want to have this car. I want to have this thing. You just doubled.
It's a
Yeah.
bunch of wank, right?
Yeah.
Like,
You just be good. But why do you want that though? Oh, because I didn't have a great time at school. I was never part of the cool kid, blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah. And, you see like the guys and I guess I was lucky that I was always quite sporty and I went to a sporty centric school. So I was always, I hate the term, but like lack of a better term, like in the cool group.
yeah, it's
So I never needed that validation.
yeah,
But I can understand how if you don't get the validation of a kid when you need it the most, and you have an opportunity to build a course and sell a dream to get validation at the expense of others, you would take that.
yeah, 100%.
And I joke about it that all the successful info guys are just like nerds that never had a girlfriend.
Yes.
If you really look, and I won't say the names, but if you really start to talk to these guys, it's true.
It took me a long time to get over that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I haven't always been as stoic as I am now, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm 40 years old, guys. So like I've had a lot of time on the earth
Yeah.
to reflect on that. It wasn't until I joined the Navy until I was in the Navy for a while until
Yeah.
I really learned my skills and I hung around people that weren't like that to understand that that shit has no value.
Yeah.
But like before that, I was the same. I was bullied at school and I wanted validation, and I
Yeah.
tried too hard to get it a lot of the
Yeah.
times, and that really stuffed me up.
Yeah.
Like, whereas like it always used to annoy me that there was the guys like, especially one of my mentors in the Navy was my boss, and his name's Chuck. He was just one of those naturally likable guys.
Yeah.
Everyone loved him,
Yeah.
right? Didn't have to try.
Yeah.
Was just like a natural likable dude.
Yeah.
And the reason he was so likable was because he just didn't really care what anyone
Yeah.
else think of him.
Yeah.
He was just
The
he
superpower.
just a naturally likable guy,
Yeah.
right? And he was very empathetic with me because I was a young guy, but we worked very closely together. And I learned a lot from him about that. It's like, actually, like, when you don't have to demand validation from
Yeah.
everyone. You just have to do the right things to get
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
right? And you're right. Like, there's a lot of guys that are overcompensating for that now
Yeah.
because they missed out on it, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And if they just took a step back and go, I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I don't need to get the validation from some random stranger. And
Yeah.
it's easy for us to say that, in a vacuum like this
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But like it's an exercise. It's like a learned skill like anything else. It takes time to like unpack that and understand what that really
Yeah.
means and go like, does buying that GT3 Porsche, like, I could buy $100,000 car
Yeah.
that's just as quick, like let's say an XR6 Turbo or something like that,
Yeah.
that will give me just as much thrills.
Yeah.
Am I paying the extra $700,000
Yeah.
to overcompensate for that validation?
Yeah. What is that money really? It's like you're not gonna go fucking race the car.
No.
It's
No.
like you're paying for performance,
It's an
but
ornament.
you don't need the performance. I got to work in my parents' business,
Yeah.
so I like would spend 8 hours a day standing up on weekends. Couldn't go out with my friends because I wasn't forced, but like I thought I was, I guess, at the time. So it's like money is hard to make.
It
Like
is.
I viscerally felt that
Yep.
because I viscerally would see the money come through and I would do the banking and I would say, okay, me, my mum, and my dad all spent 8 hours or 9 hours here together today. And this is how much cash. I would count the cash every day. It was my job.
Yeah.
It's like
It's crazy,
I
isn't it?
viscerally saw that and
It changes your perspective.
It changes everything.
Yeah, because like I think honestly, if there was a lot of younger guys that were running agencies that just understood that it's not easy to make money, even though it's relatively easier to make it online
Yeah.
from a like physical work
Yeah.
ethic, like as in like you're not
Yeah.
laying bricks or something like that.
And you just need one thing
Yeah,
to go like that.
exactly. But it's if people just understood that it's not easy to make it,
Yeah.
then people would work a lot harder to make it.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with the space is there's just too many people trying to take shortcuts.
Yeah. That's why info
Yeah.
is so fucking popular.
It is. It is. It's like people, and then there's a whole economy built on taking advantage of that, right? Like that's the problem with info products is there's a lot of good ones out there, but there's also a lot of ones that just prey on your
Yeah.
wanting to make money quickly
Yeah.
without putting in effort.
Yeah.
If people just understood that money takes effort to make, irregardless of whether it's easy to make,
Mm.
there'd be no room for scammers.
Yeah.
No one could get scammed.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
too many people that don't want to put in the effort to do anything.
Yeah.
Everyone can take something off if you cut shortcuts to take it.
Yeah.
So like I've always just carried that mentality now, even now. Like that's why I still, even though I don't do as much physical work, I'm constantly doing things to improve myself because no one can take the hard work out of me.
Yeah.
And it's the big separator that this planet rewards hard work.
Yeah.
Right? The market rewards
survival
hard
of the fittest.
It is. That's why, there's the guys out there that have info products, they make nothing because they've used ChatGPT, generate something and hope and go, oh, I made a product, you should buy it. It's like, no, the world rewards effort. And you're just putting none in.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's a bit of this is why I was saying your dad did a good job. A lot of that's got to do with parenting more than anything else.
For sure.
Your parents have taught you that you're special.
And then there's the whole thing of like participation and stuff,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
wanting to avoid trauma, like it's just fucked everyone up.
It has. And then, people are so ill-equipped to handle the world that it sends them in depressions. It fucks them up.
Yeah.
Because they're just not ready for the world and the world going, hey, we don't give a shit if you tried, you didn't get the job done.
Yeah.
And it really messes up kids' minds, like they get out of school and then they do it. The Navy was a perfect environment to teach people out of that. It's all merit.
Yeah.
You are promoted based on merit.
Yeah.
You are rewarded based on merit.
Yeah.
Your ranks go up based on how good you are at what you do.
Yeah.
It's the perfect environment for that. And the Navy genuinely did not give a shit if you put in effort.
Yeah.
It's like you either got the outcome or you didn't. If I want to get promoted, I have to be better at fixing that gun than the other guys. Otherwise, one of them's going to get the promotion.
Yeah.
Then it does. The Navy promoters don't care if you worked hard. All they care about is, are you able to do the job proficiently?
Yeah.
And are you better? Like, are you the best person to get promoted into the next role?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of guys that I talk to in Easy Grow, especially that are like, they just think because they've started an agency that clients should work with them, or they get upset when a client gets upset with them because they made a spelling mistake and stuff. And it's like, it's exactly that.
Yes.
You're not entitled to their money if you're not putting in the effort to fix a spelling mistake.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, being entitled to like almost the agency owners think like complaining about nightmare clients. So you hear it all the time. Oh, it's a nightmare niche, nightmare client. No, they're a client. They're paying you. Do a better job.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That, I've never thought about that. That's crazy because I hear it all the time.
Yeah, very rarely are clients nightmares. It's just the way they're handled and the expectations are not set correctly.
Yeah.
Because I get asked that all the time. Like we keep clients forever, as you know, and I don't have any issues with many clients.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a different mentality towards them that causes me not to have the issues.
Yeah.
Right. And it disgusts me, honestly. Like it disgusts me how some people treat their clients in this space.
Yeah.
Info products the same. Like it disgusts me how some people treat other people in this space.
Yeah.
If you owned a restaurant and treated the person you're treating, like let's say you're working doing ads for them, and you treated them the same way in a hospitality job, not only would you lose the customer, you'd probably get bad reviews, you'd probably be out of business.
Yeah.
But yet people think it's okay because they can't see them face to face. They treat them like a fucking piece of cattle and like move them through the business like cattle. Yeah. It's like, it's a human being, man. It's their livelihood. You can see why they're annoyed. Imagine like, getting a sign put on your shop and there's a spelling error in it.
Yeah.
That's
like, very good
wouldn't
analogy.
you be pissed off?
Yeah.
They have every right to be angry. They're not a nightmare client. You just didn't do the job properly.
Yeah.
And you deserve to be, the client deserves to be angry at you. Right? The way you stop it from happening is not doing it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, some guys, they just don't understand that. They don't understand. And that comes down to entitlement. They're like, they're bad clients because they're angry at me. It's like, they don't have enough perspective to go, actually, maybe I did something wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why they're angry at me.
Yeah.
And I see it a lot in the coaching calls. I'll tell guys like, hey, the reason your ads are not working is because you didn't put enough effort into it.
Yeah.
But they won't accept that as an answer. Yes. They'll try and find a shortcut. How do I, this ad's not working. Can I do this? It's like, no, how about you just make a good fucking ad?
Yeah.
And then it will work.
Yeah.
Oh, but what if I did this crowd? It's like, no, you're not listening to me. The ad is not good, man.
Yeah.
You are a professional in this space.
Yeah.
You are being paid by someone and affecting their livelihood. Do it properly, man.
Yeah.
Treat it as if this is a professional career and be a professional.
And this is like another fucking epidemic where it's like, oh, my business failed. I must be doing something wrong. It's like, well, maybe probably you didn't do the 50 things you know right, but actually maybe you just didn't know those 10 things, but now you can learn them and go again. And then people just like, they just blame themselves and quit.
Yeah.
Like if I can attribute any of my success or just survival in this space for so long and like continuing to progress, it's just because I've just like survived. Like I've just cockroached my way to like something went wrong. It's like, okay, rather than being like, did I put the effort in? I feel like I did. Like, I don't feel like there was any stone I left unturned. Okay, so I must just not know something.
Yeah.
And then you just like go and learn the thing.
Go and find it.
And then you go, oh, boom, big uptick, beautiful. Like my sales journey was, I did $900 my first month commission. I was like, but I felt like I worked hard. I did 11 calls a day. So okay, I didn't know how to pitch properly. Learned how to pitch better. Then it went up to fight. Like it was literally like that.
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
And rather than me being like, I'm bad at sales, which was eating at the back of my head, and my boss at the time was, for better or worse, kind of pushing the agenda of that maybe I'm not trying hard enough. But because I had a good upbringing, I had some resilience and some hard times younger in life. I was like, no, I think that I just could get better. And luckily, they lied to me. So they stuck with me long enough for me to learn.
The interesting thing about that is you hit the nail on the head of what it is, right? It comes back to that perspective. It's like there's just not enough people that are humble enough to admit when they need to improve.
Yeah.
Right? They'll blame everything else,
Yeah.
the client,
Yeah.
the ad, the weather, oh poor me, but they won't go, actually, maybe I'm just not good enough yet and I need to get better. Alrighty, so hopefully you got some value from that conversation. You got a bit of a deeper dive into some of the lies that are perpetrated in the agency space. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel because there's going to be a third part of this series coming out and you won't want to miss that. So guys, I'm Uncle G and I'll catch you in the next video.